Okay, hopefully y'all can hear me. I think an ad just started, unfortunately. So that's terrible timing. Let's get rid of this wait card and get started here. All right, we are going. So this is the last thing I edited. One of these vertical reels of just short roller coaster clips that seem to be doing well in shorts and on Instagram Reels, but unfortunately not doing any sort of numbers over on TikTok. Unfortunately, TikTok's just got a whole different algorithm, and it's used to people talking and talking to the camera. It feels like the confessional or something like that, or where you go to gossip, and not really like I would talk about this, like the performance of my different reels and shorts and TikTok, like, and comparing them all, and that would be more TikTok content. Like, I think that's the type of content that would do well over there. Anyway, before I get started, I transferred over, and I have a separate hard drive on my desktop that has all of the clips that I have from all the various theme parks organized. And I have one drive kind of dedicated to an archive of all the different clips. And so now I've just dragged over all the stuff that I shot opening day of Hershey Park, and I want to kind of sift through all of that and see what's going to be a potential reel, and basically edit all of those reels and then schedule them to be released, like, you know, over the next month or two, basically, so there's not too much repetition. So you don't see Wildcats Revenge and Sky Rush every day for the next week, and then don't see it again until I get another, you know, harvest of clips, basically. All right, so on Davinci Resolve, this is what I've chosen to use as my big boy editing software now. We're going to drag over. Well, I guess I don't need this anymore. There's a couple of windows that I do have open in the background I believe you cannot see. But we're going to get started here with the first clip, which is one of the drops of... Why aren't you letting me drag and drop, sir? Okay then. We'll import the media. And that's the wrong location. Here it is. Hershey Park. Where you at, first drop? Where you at? There it is. Don't change it. I have it set to 30 frames per second. That is the ideal scenario here for if we're intending to go to anything mobile vertical format. They typically will force 29.97 frames per second on most things. So now that I have it here, I wonder how big it is actually. So you can only see like the tiniest bit of what I'm working with. It's a little bit bigger for me, but because it's a software that's meant for horizontal movies, like this vertical thing isn't the best. Obviously, the best thing to do would be to have like a separate monitor so you could really see in more detail what's going on. Hey, Professor Snape, what's up? I wanted to go to Six Flags for what's it called, for spring break, but all this rain is here, so I don't know, Thursday maybe. What's the forecast even looking like? And sorry if I don't take enough time or am checking. I have my chat open on my phone. Maybe I should actually. I'm such a derp. I have this little thing, and now I can put my phone on a tripod and look over. Maybe I should. Yeah, let's put it over here. All right, so now I have the chat up off my desk. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm definitely going to Six Flags soon as the weather clears. Before I really get into the editing, though, let's look at the weather for Jackson, New Jersey. What's the forecast looking like? Is there rain? How bad is this rain on Thursday? Is it going to be like a little meh that we can still go? Or are we going to have to wait until Friday? Because spring break is basically kind of almost over. It ruined spring break, this rain. Oh, you're East Coast New York. Okay, so you know exactly. Like, there's coastal flooding and all types of nonsense going on. But yeah, it looks like Thursday. What is the accumulation looking like? Man, I'm getting so sidetracked, but this is important. This is very important. Gosh, what a waste of a week. And the like real crappy thing for me is that I'm home this week. I could have been live streaming all day. I could have been doing something productive instead of, you know, finding other things to do like this live stream because there's just nothing else to do. It's kind of meh. It's very meh. Thursday looks like is giving me hope. Occasional rain and drizzle. Maybe? Doesn't look like it'll be too bad, but Wednesday I know is a wash. It looks pretty bad. It says 9 hours of precipitation. All right, anyway. I'm going to get started with editing here. I'm just going to review my clip. Okay, we definitely don't need all that. I know I was just waiting and holding the camera. I can hear him coming. And there it goes. I try not to have too much going on in the bottom third of the screen just because I know for a fact there's usually like all the different buttons and, you know, your name and the brief description. There's all types of stuff on the bottom third usually, and then you have on the right hand like the interactivity section there. Kind of feel bad for them spring break folks. Heck yeah, I feel bad for everybody who's on spring break who's not getting to actually enjoy it. Alright, so we got our clip there. I'm muting. Then I'm changing the clip speed to 50%. Reviewing the timing of the clip. Because now it's slowed down. It'll take longer for it to show up. Okay, it just appeared. So I back it up just a smidge before that. And then a little, like, 1/10 of a second afterwards. Alright, now the fun part. Yes, exactly. I haven't, and I should do like a vlog and edit it, you know, and just live stream that whole thing. But it's a lot of listening to me talk, and I don't know if everybody's down for that. It is a lot of that, and like little adjustments and stuff. But these are all the YouTube shorts that I make, so this is the process. So now that I've kind of got the clip and I kind of have a sense for the flow of it, I'm going to go through some of my copyright-free music library that I've built up over the years and see if we got something that fits the bill here. I've noticed that the stuff that does well, and this is particular for YouTube, on Instagram and TikTok, I'll usually just grab whatever is trending at the moment. But usually I go with something kind of more mellow, not a full beat or anything, because I think a lot of people, when they're scrolling through, don't need something like immediately like a big drop thrown at them, thrown their way. So I treat it like a little lull for, I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't want it to be too intense. So right now I'm just scrolling through and kind of, we're going to go through a couple songs. You'll hear a couple songs. And the program, the software I'm using is Davinci Resolve 18. And this is Studio, which I believe is the paid one. I bought it basically so I could have all of the different features that aren't available. Also, I'm looking here. When I am tabbed out, does the screen disappear? I'm just taking a second to, yeah. So when I'm tabbed out looking at other stuff, that screen goes black. Anyway, music. So like this, it's not too intense, in my opinion. It's a little, but I see people enjoy like the more in-between parts of songs. Might be too not from the vibe. Going through here, any plans or projects that you have planned that aren't theme park related? I have too many ideas, but it's more about finding time. The theme park stuff is just the things that I know well and can turn around quick. You know? Let's see. I like that one. Let's see how much build I have for this. So we're going to throw this in here. Why is it? It's acting strange for some reason about dragging stuff onto the timeline. I'm confused by that. I wonder if there's something I missed, but now I have to go over to my music folder, find the song that I just was trying to drag over. That is very strange. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There, Redbox, colors. Okay, let's throw that in. We don't care about the audio track, so I'm just going to overwrite this one. But yeah, like long term, I want to like make an actual movie or a short film at least to start. I've been doing so much work in studying filmmaking that eventually I feel like I need to just dive in and do something a little more intense. Because I've already done small scale production work, but those were mostly at theme parks, so what you gonna do but like live performances and stuff like that, and doing like promo work for like Sesame Place and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely dip my toes in that pool. Alright, so now I'm just cutting down here. I want that one, which is right here. I'm zooming in on the on where that downbeat is and that little bit of bass is. Also, I still have this long-term project. It is theme park related, but it's all about haunt sliding, and I still need to do interviews and stuff like that. That's all been happening in the background though, and at a pretty slow pace. Like, I've had logos and a title sequence and opening theme music go, like that's all set, but I still have to do interviews. That works. Let's cut right there and delete. All right, I think I can let this go out just a little bit. Like, yeah, that's good. I just want to be able to trim this end here. If you look at the bottom here, the what I look at is the waveforms, because I don't want like a random like at the end, so I usually cut that off. And in order to not destroy anybody's ears, I usually have like a very, very brief fade in on the music. So that's what that's gonna flow like, and now we have to do the look. That's it. Quick 6 seconds. Now we go over to color. I do need to tell the software the origin of this color space. If we go over, right now it thinks it's in Rec 709, which is, I don't know if you guys know about color spaces. I just learned about it, and it's like Rec 709 I think is like the standard broadcast one. So if I tell it, hey, I use Panasonic camera in their logarithmic video format, I have way more colors than a standard broadcast, but eventually it'll get squashed down there. So it's kind of standardized and works with all the different ways that these videos can be consumed. So that's what I've got going on here. Can I get rid of you? I forget. I'm pretty sure I can, so I can make this a little bit bigger. Yes, maybe. There's a hotkey for this and I'm forgetting it. There it is. Okay. Looking at chat. Oh, this little like button is in the way of my chat and I don't like it. And also I'm not getting all messages. I'm just getting top messages, which is silly. Okay. What I would really like to do is direct some type of thing. Somebody throw me a script and let me direct something. I think it would be a lot of fun. I think at this point I got the technical know-how. Alright, so now I'm making adjustments with curves to the exposure. So what I can do is that. I see that reflection there on the railing, though, on the track. So we're going to try to minimize that a little bit. Bring out the color. Bring out the shadows a little. Let's see. One thing I like to do, because I know it's going to be heavily compressed, the sharpness, I bring that up just the tiniest bit. And right now I'm just making adjustments to white balance and exposure, and then I throw like one of the film looks over it. You're gonna try to force yourself to ride the Giga Discovery. That thing is so fun. It is so fun. It can get a little scary though when you're like basically beyond horizontal. It is terrifying. I still need to make another video of that. It is wonderful. I think it's less painful with the stomach drops than Buccaneer, because Buccaneer is like that straight down, whereas at least there's this rotation involved with the Giga Discovery that doesn't get you right in the gut and in the groin. I don't know if that happens to everybody else, but on the Buccaneer, like that, just something about that swinging motion, like it's uncomfortable. All right, we want to put in a little more contrast, just the tiniest bit. I think our white balance is looking good, so the next thing I do, we add another node, go over here, and we go into our LUTs. So I have a bunch of film print emulation LUTs that I bought, and I kind of scroll through them. I'm trying to think in my mind like what would look cool. It would look cool if I threw like almost a sepia tone looking thing. Actually, give me 1 second to like look up, can I do like look up an old photo, Wildcat Hershey Park photo, and see if I can emulate that somehow. So right now I'm just doing a quick image search to see if I can find any, but it is a lot of Wildcat's Revenge, unfortunately. So I'm just looking for vintage Wildcat, let's see, 1920s. No, it's just gonna completely ignore that. Isn't Buccaneer one of the swinging ship ride? That's the name of it at Great Adventure. It's just any one of those standard ones that go like this, not the ones that go all the way around, but they just swing them back and forth. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Buccaneer's still there. I was like, did they remove it and I just never realized it? I don't know. I don't know. All right, looking for a vintage photo of the Wildcat, apparently. Okay, I wish I knew how to copy. So there is a way where you can like take a photo or an image still and take all the colors from that and just kind of almost copy paste it as a look, basically. I would love to do that somehow, but we're not going to do that this time. I don't want to put you through the pain of me trying to figure that out. So what I'm going to do is take something like this and make it like 70s-ish with like the like tealish thing, and like if I go over here on this one and we dial in more blue with that faded look, it'll get there. And then we just raise. It's interesting, like the brightness levels and the dynamic range of like old film looks. All you have to do is bring down the white level. to kind of get it there. Meanwhile, like a 90s look is the exact opposite. If you bring it all the way up, you get like a more of a 90s, like somebody bumped up the saturation type of look. Hey Heather, how's it going? Thank you for joining. I'm trying to bring down, so I'm looking down here in the center at the curve. I'm looking at this big white peak, and I'm trying to bring that down because I know that's where the like super reflective part of the track is. So I'm trying to bring that down and mitigate it just a little bit, not to where it gets to be like too obvious that it's been manipulated, because you want it to look like real life, not too crazy like a lot of like videos that I see out there where they've just messed with the like HDR-ness, sharpness, and saturation of everything just way too much. I try to avoid that at all costs. So I'm just trying to add a tiniest bit of color boost. And now the last thing I'm looking at is the different levels between shadows, midtones, and the highlights. This is with the highlights kind of really up, and then I just try to find like a nice in between. And now I do have sun coming from the top left. I wonder if I can do anything about that to kind of make it, let's see. If I add another node, there's a thing called glow over here. It can kind of make things look cool. If I play with the threshold, you'll see what I mean. So this is it just dialed way too much. If you have like and this is it without nothing. So you can do a very subtle one and look, it should look okay. Actually, no, my light source doesn't feel like it's compatible with that effect. Maybe halation will work nicer. Let's see. This is a standard one. This will make it look dreamy, and that's kind of what I wanted. I want to smear Vaseline over this whole thing, but in a nice way. This might be too much, but the problem is that it's very small, and so for me to tell with fine-tuning stuff is hard. So this is without anything, so I think just a little bit here. Let's see, the normalization. Ooh, you lose all contrast with that. Film saturation level. Ah, I see. How about the gamma? I don't usually take this long on them, but there's something in my head that I'm picturing that I want to try. Alrighty, let me go back to this screen and play that back just to see what it looks like. It's alright, we're going to try to deliver or render this out. If anybody else makes videos, I should make a video about this to help people, because I found out there's like a sweet spot for like render settings so that the different social media platforms don't compress your video down too much. And it's, believe it or not, I shoot everything in 4K, but 1080 is the way to go. And also in a certain type of video compression container and this and that. It's a mess. But anyway, I've rendered that out. Let's see if I can actually share this with you guys. I've got the render here. Open it. Oh yeah, immediately know that is way too much halation. We need to dial that way back. So that was not apparent on my screen. So let's do 700. I'm going to just render that, replace it. Here we go. Oh, right. I have it opened. Derp. Try it again. So what's going on with the people watching quietly? Professor Snape, are you still around? Coaster Tunes, are you still around? What's going on? What are y'all up to? What are you doing while it's raining? Because, yeah, there's not much happening over here. Oh, man, this halation, it is too unwieldy for me. I want to see what it looks like without it. Let's see it. I'm looking at it, and just the clip, like, now, like, I'm looking at it with my screen out. I'm looking at a little bit of blur. I wonder what my shutter speed was on this. It's not as smooth as I normally would anticipate. It looks okay. I feel like it needs some brown or something like that, though. And also, while I'm looking at this, let me take a second to add that as a window capture so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Here. Let me see if that works. So if I hit play, you should be able to see what I'm looking at now. Professor Snape, what you been doing with all this rain? Alright, it looks like it's not showing up. You guys can see the thing move, but this video is not visible. Well, that's a shame. You probably can hear the audio, though. So that's like a global thing. Well, right now I'm going to make some more adjustments to the color. So if we go into our color wheel here, I want to push just a little bit of brown into the shadows. Oh, what am I doing? Let's turn that off. Go over here. And then over here, we're going to continue with maybe point. There's such slight changes that you can make that make a big difference. Like the midtones. If you mess with the midtones, that can really change the look. And then I'm going to dial back how much of this filmic look we have so it can have a little more dimension. Because film tends to make it a little flatter looking. Midtones are just the mid value between shadows and highlights. So they're, you know, through any editor for like photos, for instance, highlights are going to be like the sky, the clouds. The shadows are pretty self-explanatory. Those are the things on the darker end. So you have, you know, highlights up here, shadows down there. And then in the middle will be your midtones, which is anything in between. All right, we re-rendered that. Okay, acceptable. That one's ready to go, and I'm trying to find some way I can share that. Maybe I can open it with a different program? Media player? Let's see. Did this get too sharpened? It looks a little too sharp now. I know right now on my display I have it too big, but let's see if we can at least share the finished product with you. I think so. I think so. I think we have victory here. Cool. So here is that's what that's gonna look like. And since we have that open, I can quickly show you what it looked like so we can get a before and after. Oh, nope. And it's in a different player, so that's great. But I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work. 1 second. It looks very strange when I try to add this. Is that what it... I'm trying... Why does it look like a separate part of my screen right now? Man, working with 10-bit video is weird. Alright, we're just going to close out of that because that certainly did not work. And I will just play this one the whole way through again. I wanted to try to do a side-by-side. But yeah, that didn't work. But since we have this as an example and it's somewhat large in display, the shadows are obviously going to be here. The midtones are the things not getting hit directly by the sun. It's basically just the middle ground. And a lot of times it's where people's faces, skin tones and stuff can get really messed up. Interesting. Okay. I deem that acceptable. We're going to move on to the next clip. So I take all of that, I hit a quick save, then we go to the timeline. We delete it all. I'm going to make another one. I'm just going to cycle through these. I'm going to watch 2 clips real quick. All right, we have a quick first drop clip that I'm going to not drop in there apparently. Add clips from me. Why can't I drag and drop, sir? Normally I could, and it didn't even remember where I started from. Imported bins. No, media. Imported media. Don't change the frame rate. Drop it to get this started. Do 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 do. And here they go. Change the speed, 50%. Technically you could do less. You could do down to like 24 frames per second from 60, which is what I originally shot this in, but I find that to be a little too slow. Oh, sorry about the audio. Can mute those tracks. Those also get slowed. Okay, extend, extend, and out. So wow, that's only a 5-second clip, 6-second clip. Nice. All right, now the best part, looking for a song that fits that. I think that would be something good to go into a more intense part of a song. So let's see what we got. Nah. Nope. I would love to use this one, but there's really big pauses before the beat starts. What's this one? Nah. This kind of just stays there. believe I used this recently. We're gonna keep looking. The worst part about all of this, I don't want to say worst, it's just looking for a song that like fits the vibe that you've already got in your mind. I find it a lot easier to do with like things that are spooky and like have a very direct vibe, but ones that just have a feel, it's hard to convey unless you hear it, and that means scrubbing through a bunch of different songs. Let's just use that. Which song was that? Lunoxus Mesosphere. Yeah, I have like a whole bank of Halloween music, spooky music that I use regularly. So there's like slow spooky, intense spooky, like there's different levels of spookiness that's conveyed. But in general, yeah, I got my spooky stuff covered and just add to it little by little. Whereas like there's certain song intensities and like feels that are good for, say, a montage of going through a dark ride or a montage of people dancing or performing versus like roller coasters. Like everything has like a certain feel, and the edits, the cuts that you make and how fast you make them are influenced by the tempo and intensity. So yeah, it can be very variable. We're gonna just use this. We're gonna go here and use just a little bit of this. And I just want that. I'm just gonna end it with a quick fade out, start it with a quick fade in, and see what happens here. I'm not sold on it, but we're gonna just go through. The worst thing that happens is that if it doesn't do well, I just come back to this edit and throw in a different song, and you know, happy days. Alrighty, so we're back here, and I forgot to tell this to change to the color space with that gamma. Oh man, I forgot how bad the lighting was. Let's see. It's like there's like a blue sheen on everything, huh? So we're gonna have to white balance this way, I guess. And then a little green. There's still like this weird violet hue to it all. I don't think I can bring up the mids too much here. We're gonna try it just a hair, but I'm gonna make the shadows harsher to kind of compensate for that, basically increasing the contrast, which we will also do. All right. In general, shadows will go down. I'll bring up the midtones just a hair. And that should be good. Let's see that. So I'm gonna just pause on that. Okay, so I do like that I can see like the lighting and the like warmth of the light hitting some people, especially the ones that are wearing white. So that's something that I hope I can bring out a little bit more here with some additional warmth. to the temperature. Let's see, in the lights, we can try to put a little tiniest bit of orange in there, but to compensate for that, we'll do a bit of green in the shadows. Now we go on over to our LUT. This one can just use like a standard. Let's do a 50D. Was that an FPE? I guess there's not too many colors for it to work with. Oh, that's a negative. There we go. Going with this? Where are we going with this? Do we need more green? I do like the addition of more green, honestly, but maybe not necessary. Also, I totally forgot to remove some of the noise in the last clip. I was wondering about that. It just looks like green, whatever. Okay, so we removed a little bit of the contrast that this thing has, and this we can keep at 1. Increasing the shadows a little bit, and then increasing the color boost. I wonder if I can get that sky any more convincing. Because right now it's going to be just a very white sky, which I feel like isn't the most eye-pleasing, but there was not much information there. So we went from this, which is very much not white balance, to this. I feel like I could probably get it there just a little bit better. Maybe here, here. A lift? Too much. Or maybe I just need to try a different LUT, like a chrome. But the chrome tends to suck out the color that's already there and not really supplant it. Like this one has way less interactivity with blues, but way more with the reds. And that's true for a lot of these Fuji ones that come out kind of green versus blue tinted. I'm just messing with the saturation here. A little bit is good, a lot looks very unnatural. Man, I liked it the way I had it, I think. Like one of these looked nice. But yeah, you can easily like go too heavy on it, so you gotta be careful. Let's see. It looks so good with a Ektachrome look, or Ektar. How about a gold? That does add that sheen of green to it. Daytime? Daytime, yeah. A day balanced film look works. Let's see if we can add a little bit more here. What you saying? Best scare maze? At what event? At what event? That is the question. I can answer which event though, because I went through, I think, somewhere between 30 and 40 unique houses / mazes. So if we're talking Fright Fest, that's a good question. I haven't even thought about that, to be honest. Ooh, can I get a little blue here? I can. I don't know how that works, but it's working. And then we can lift that a little bit. I mean, honestly, last year I feel like Fright Fest got a Most Improved award, especially from the previous year. I could go on and on about that. I could do a whole video essay about that. Yeah, this is very much not white balanced. We're gonna roll with it though. Let's see. I'm looking at my calendar real quick because what I should be doing is figuring out when I want to schedule this and naming stuff accordingly to that. So I'm gonna go over to my shorts and see what I have scheduled up till. So I have shorts scheduled until, oh, this can go up on the 4th. All right, because I try to do a daily short, and the ones that don't do well, I just re-upload. And if I'm doing stuff like this where I do multiple of the same, I'll push it 2 weeks. So like I just did one, I'll upload it on Thursday. I'll go on this one that I'm about to render out to the 18th. And I like to put that into the file itself, into the name, so I know when it was uploaded last. And depending on whether or not it does well, then I will send out another render of it. I'll go back to the drawing board and see what I can adjust. El Toro goes through maintenance problems because Six Flags management ignored the actual maintenance engineers and all their recommendations on preventative maintenance. And then what happens is they, what they warned them about, like, hey, if you don't do this, it's going to get worse and cause more problems. Well, that's where we're at, right? Lots and lots of problems being made just because of incompetence. Don't know if I like it. The colors are fine though. It's just not as crystal as I'm used to seeing. I did put a little bit of blur in there, but I don't know if that worked. Because when I pause it, they look fine. And that's one of the big differences about the heavyweight clips that I've been shooting, is that when you pause, you can take a screenshot of that and just upload it as a photo. It's almost a film still, essentially. It's okay. It's good enough. And if the internet doesn't like it, let's save and move on to the next one. If the internet doesn't like it, then we delete it and do something else to it, because I'm sure I'll figure out something else I can do with it. Do you think Great Adventure, well, if you're talking about the merger, yeah, that is a done deal. It's already been, well, I should say it's reached its first milestone, in which the merger is now approved by everybody. So like all the shareholders. It still needs to be approved by like people who, kind of allow that. So there's oversight agencies like the SEC and a bunch of other places that need to kind of give it its blessing, make sure it's legal. Essentially, they're not creating a monopoly. So as far as shareholders and the businesses, the two businesses themselves, Cedar Fair and Six Flags, are ready to go. It's surprising though that they're ready to go so quickly. Oh hey, let's change it up and do one of Fahrenheit, huh? Alright, I think this is going to be the last one, and then I will say good night. But fingers crossed the rain stays away. So this one I shot all the way down at the bottom of the hill. Or no, not the top. This was by the Wildcats Revenge entrance. And I think this might be a slow clip that I leave full speed. I just saw this cool framing where you could get some of the track there involved. Yeah, I like that. What I do want to quickly do with this, though, because I noticed I was a little shaky on that. So this is, if you look at the shot, you'll see a little bit of side-to-side movement, but for the most part, this is just me handheld, right? And I try to, like, basically have the camera, again, I have the camera here, I can show you real quick. I try to have it, like, here, pressed in against my arm. With my pinky, I'll start the clip, and then I'll just hold it like this against my arm, so there's not too much sway. But even still with that, because I'm so zoomed in, you'll still see micro movements. So I come over here to stabilization, and I hit it just a little. It'll crop it just the tiniest bit. And there it is. So hopefully we've minimized a little bit of this. This isn't quite camera lock. I do wonder what that would look like. I think I'm going to try it. Let's see. The battery life entirely depends on, like, how much you're shooting and of what. Like, how should I put it? I could shoot 1080p on one battery for like 12 hours or something ridiculous like that. But if it's 4K, like, uncompressed and stuff, I could shoot for, like, well, one, the memory card would probably fill before the battery did, because believe it or not, these heavier duty clips that I shoot, 15 minutes is about 128 gigabytes or something like that, so it goes quick. But for like photos, I say I can take like 2,000, no, more than that, like I want to say like 3,000 to 4,000 photos before I chew through a battery. And probably about, for the 4K that I use for my vlogs, probably like I can shoot for like an hour of recorded time. Not just having it on, but like recorded time. Even then, I think it might be more. All right, we got that nice and locked. I think I have the framing is still nice, I think. All right, we just want to add some music to that one. So what do you think we need? Something just like another thing into a drop, or just something kind of one feel? I'm thinking something that's kind of one feel. Just use this one. I remember this one. I used this song for a reel for Scream Break last year. I'm so bummed they didn't bring Scream Break back, because I saw Six Flags Over Georgia and Magic Mountain, they both have Scream Break, and sadly we do not. I guess they're focusing on the 50th stuff. I do like this one. This one works. I know this song already kind of well. I can already kind of hear in my head how this will work. Here, so I will show you what I mean. So there's like a buildup that it's very like, let's say, drenched in reverb and synths, and then it pulls back pretty hard to let the beat come through, and I like that about it. Let's see. think it does it one more time. Is it me or does it sound... Let me look at the... It's not as loud as I thought it would be. Do I have a limiter on or something? Is this that? I wanted to bring it up just a little bit. That's right, Moops. They better bring back Scream Break. Although, if let's be real, if they had Scream Break right now, it'd be getting rained out like 90% of the time, which is also would be such a bummer. Alright, I'm just looking for the right 6 seconds of this song. I gotta remember this one for another something or another. Maybe for Skyrush? Oh, I don't know if I got one of its drops. So somewhere in here. Okay. I'm gonna just blade the rest out. Okay. Let's find it. Okay, even tighter here. Screen Break, better come back, please. Yes. You're gonna go yesterday, and they've been closed all week for sure. They've been closed since Sunday, haven't they? Oh no, Sunday they were open. Oh man, this is just between me and anybody who watches this. There was like some weird. So I know a lot of the they call themselves the Scream Queens. I refer to them as the coaster gays, and they're you know. Do love who you want to love, but they're very nice. They were very welcoming, but they warned me that there's these more intense coaster gays, and they were having a balls out leather day, but they were starting it at Great Adventure, and there was a Evite going around and everything, and I don't know, I did not know such things existed, and now you know such things exist. So yeah, there's that. Sneaking that in at the end of a live stream that I don't think many people will watch. Did I get the timing? Let's see how bad. I need enough time for this to develop. Pulling this back. I think we got the timing. Oh yeah, no, seriously, Snape. It was. I was like, what? Huh? I am like, in comparison to that, I'm like goody two shoes, like innocent. Like, I just want to go to a park, have fun, take some photos and videos, and go home and be like, hey, everybody, in one of my vlogs, and that's it. Like, wholesome stuff. I need like 0.5 seconds here. Ugh, so while monitoring my own live, I'm getting served ads because I'm watching it on my phone. You guys, hopefully at this point, I'm gonna tab out real quick, are using something like, gosh, what is this called? uBlock Origin something like that. Because, yeah, that blocks out all the ads. But I don't have that on my phone. Don't want to be scarred? Yeah. Yeah. Alright, I'm almost done here with the timing of the song. That's it. We're gonna... Wait, why is Streamlabs shit? I don't know these things. I do know I need to fix this. Oh wait, I haven't even... I keep doing this. Input color space. Get it right. That seems so harsh and incorrect. What? Like, that doesn't look right. But that is it. That is not what it looked like, though. It looks darker. Hold on. I'm going to just take a look at my project settings here at my color management. I told it this was the input color space, and it didn't automatically do it for me. Yeah. Yep. Everything looks like it should, but it just doesn't look right to me. Something about it doesn't look right. Still very new to all of this. Alright, that looks okay. Bring this down a smidge. Even it out. Yeah, we can get more blue in there. Bring that down, and then... yeah, we're good. The ads are ridiculous, but you know what I've heard is that on Twitch, the ads are even worse. Like, there'll be an ad every couple of minutes, like 5 minutes, and it makes it almost impossible to really watch the stream or the gameplay that you're trying to watch. It's silly. Right now, I'm streaming from my desktop using OBS directly, you know, with a stream key to YouTube, so YouTube has control over how the ads are served. Yeah, it did look dark, didn't it? It was weird. It's definitely not how I remember it. Like, it was somewhere around here, but it seemed like it was brighter. But there's something about getting the exposure right that sometimes gets missed because you're trying to quickly, you know, you don't want to wait for another train to come by, so you try to do it quick, and sometimes that comes back to bite you. I want to bring down the shadows. Let's see what. But the thing is that's nice about shooting in 10-bit video, it means that there's a lot of information chilling in there, and you can bring out details that otherwise you wouldn't have if you were using like your phone or something. You have a lot more leeway in kind of changing things up. Like, for instance, the highlights. Like, this is how it started, and then we brought it up. You can see I can make it purple, and it takes a lot for it to finally start falling apart. Eight or 10 ads if you watch Beast? Jeez. NJ Coaster Rider, Moops just above you said he's got premium, so there's two of you in the chat. Alrighty, I'm going with... this feels like it needs a green, the whole teal and orange type of look. That's the vibe I'm getting from this, because then that red track could almost kind of lean orange, so I'm going through some of these to see which one complements that vibe the best. Definitely not that one. Could this work if I color boosted it? Nah. That's too much. That's way too much. That's the 50D. 500T could potentially work. Or I could just stick with what I know works, and that's the Fuji color here. This one works usually. Huh, interesting. The red is like just really loud and proud here on this. So even trying to bring this up, I might have to take this, move it over green, and then I can't really warm this up more. Weird. That track is so orange that I'm a little limited in what I can do in terms of color, because orange is just, wow, intense. The orange is just so intense. We're gonna find it. We're gonna find it though. I know one thing that'll help is this, and then this. That way we can pull out more of it. Okay, it's looking much better now. And just a touch of that. I'm trying to throw in just a touch of green. Instead of like this, somewhere around here would be like the actual white balance. I want to throw it in to a kind of greener space. Maybe like that. So let's pull that over and see. Do we have it, or do we want more of a teal? So we can get it, but at what cost? So we can pull this down a little bit more. I don't think I like it though. I think I like this slightly overexposed look that's letting like the sun in a little bit more and making it like flare a little bit. So like, let's bring up the overall, no, let's bring down the overall exposure. What is that standard at? 25, that's probably fine. We're gonna bring up the highlights, but then everything else is gonna be harsher. From there, we can bring up the overall. I'm a little stuck on this one. I'm gonna undo all that, because I think this was working. Maybe what would look better is a vignette, and then just an overall center increase. Yeah, that's the thing that stinks about when you mess with the red too much, or mess with the colors a little too much. It does need some color, but not too much. Like this looks okay to me right now. What I want to try to do is add another node in here, and what we're gonna do is create a quick little mask where this the circle, go like this. Basically I want to create a vignette here. Let's put it here. Make this smaller. All right, and then we invert it. Yes? No. Let's see it. Yeah. So what I want to do is just create a very subtle vignette so that the center is a little lighter than the outside. It's subtler. So something like that. I think we need to go a little bit more. I can definitely see the shape, but it's somewhere in there. So we're going to go back to this, and then we're going to go up with the highlights here, and then now I should be able to go further down. Have I heard of Coaster Force? Yeah, they have a lot of POVs. Like tons of POVs. You think the sky should be dark blue? I was going more for like the teal and orange look. It would not be hard to get it to go darker, but I'm not sure it would look as good. Yeah, you would have to probably do something like that a little bit and bring the temperature over. Something like that. Rather than the like tealish look we had. All right. I think we're just about done with that one. This one, if I check my schedule, I'll probably post this on the 9th. Right. Wait, no, I don't have anything on April 5th, so this automatically becomes April 5th. Fahrenheit on April 5th. Let's render it and see what it looks like in actuality. Because obviously this little preview is not enough. What's on the 9th? Right now nothing is scheduled on the 9th. Right now I have scheduled Jersey Devil Coaster was today. Tomorrow's Nitro. On the 6th I have a re-upload of Tron Light Cycle. On the 7th Incredicoaster. And on the 8th something from Dorney Park. And on the 16th I have another Jersey Devil Coaster clip. So basically I go back to like 2022 and like I'm reposting stuff from way back when mixed in with stuff that's new. And yeah, it's been one of my best sources of new subscribers, so I'm really trying to push it by having a daily upload ready to go. Anyway, we have the clip. Let me see if is this actually showing up for you guys? Yeah, it is. It looks pretty good. I feel like I need to do, like, does it need more shadows? I feel like I could darken those shadows and make it pop a little bit more. And also, I think this is good enough. I should just upload it as is, but this part of the track that's at the top of the screen, like the way the light's hitting it, I truly believe that's probably the way it looked. There's just not enough shadow, like not enough darkness in the shadows to really make it look, I don't know. less like a video game. Oh, I fully want to go to Fiesta, Texas, man. That is high on the list. They really do fun stuff there. They look like they have a great time there. I've heard the management there is like, they really care. And that's something that I can get behind. If I remember, also that's it's in San Antonio, and SeaWorld is like right there too, so could probably do that in one nice little trip. Okay, it just needed a little more shadow boost, and now it looks pretty good. All right, last thing I want to do to the base of it is add a little more sharpness. And then I already have some denoising going. Okay, let's render that out and call it good. Excuse me. It feels different. Oh, you've been there. Oh man, that's so awesome. Yeah. Definitely been to parks like that that make you not want to go back to your home park. It's sad, but what you gonna do? It's just like that sometimes. I mean, Magic Mountain. Wait, is there a Tatsu at Fiesta, Texas that I don't know about or something? Because I've been on Tatsu. I went to Magic Mountain in February. And that park, it needs entertainment or something. It was literally just the coasters, and that was it. All right, I'm taking one last look at this video, and then we're calling it a night. It works. I think it's good. I think we got that one. Alrighty, so I think that's it. Let me know how the stream quality was, by the way. I don't even know what I'm streaming at. It's probably 1080 or something, but I kept it around 10 kbps, so I don't know what the quality of like the previews that I was seeing versus you guys. But thanks for all the input and stuff on getting these together. I will usually spend like a couple hours, you know, refining this because I'm only learning color grading now, and hopefully in the near future, you know, I'll have some level of mastery to it. But I'm a newbie to it, just like I used to be when it came to photo editing. But now I could probably do like a class or something on it at this point because I've edited thousands of photos since 2019 when I started in earnest. All right. Back then, 2011, Magic Mountain was okay. Okay, so it was okay. Thank you. Any other comments or anything like that? Let me know, you know, in the comments if there was anything, you know, hiccups of any kind. But for now, I got a couple things coming up soon. I have some Halloween Horror Nights speculation stuff for Hollywood and Orlando. That's coming. More thoughts about Skyrush. I'm going to make just a quick, like, 5-minute video about my thoughts and feelings on that. And I did go to the Harry Potter exhibit that's in New York City. I still got to edit that. And I still have to edit a video of just wandering around Westchester County to random spots that Frank, my drummer friend, took me to. And hopefully something from Great Adventure this week once the rain kind of subsides. I still want to play spot the difference at the park here. Tweety, the person who plays Tweety, reach out to me, let me know that I should go visit. So I'm going to be doing that for sure. And didn't the whole western part, frontier part open? I think Best of the West opened, right? So I do want to go see that. I haven't ridden Medusa yet. Um, and I haven't actually ridden El Toro yet, so I definitely need to get back out to Great Adventure. I also was trying originally to go to Six Flags New England for their opening weekend, but I realized that they're not really doing anything too new, so that might be something that I push to another weekend instead, and maybe go out to, say, like Coney Island or something like that. We'll see what happens, but that's kind of the wrap up of what I've got going on this week. I probably posted something about Nitro in the community post. That the community post I've also had going on every day. Just random polls, your favorite coasters. So there, I think most recently was like your most favorite coaster at Great Adventure out of like 5 different options. So there was Nitro and Jersey Devil most certainly were options in that one. All right, guys. I'm going to call this one here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and keeping me company while I created some reels, shorts, edited some vertical videos, and stumbled through color grading. Have yourselves a good night. Hopefully, the rain in the Northeast subsides and we can actually enjoy spring break and get back to the parks. Have a good night. I have just the song for you guys. I'm going to play you out.